Hello, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And today I'd like to share with you a fun card. It's very quick using a Sale-a-Bration Designer Series paper and the Friends for Life bundle, which is out of our annual catalog. It's kind of pairing the two together. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that camera over and just get started so you don't have to keep on listening to me chat. So I'm using the Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper. This is an item out of our Sale-a-Bration offerings. There are some brand new offerings for Sale-a-Bration that are items from both our annual catalog, online exclusives, and our new mini catalog that came out last month. But I'm using Toadstool Gardens. There are 48 sheets of paper in here, 8 pieces of 6 different designs, and so you have a lot of options, and it is just adorable paper. I'm having so much fun with it, and I thought it paired really well with the Friends for Life bundle, which is a photopolymer stamp set and a coordinating die set. And we're going to use the friend and then a happy birthday. So I want to make this a birthday option, and so I'm going to put all this kind of out of the way so you don't have to keep on looking at it. It is a die set, so you are going to need a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. But if you purchase this and add dimensionals, some multi-purpose liquid glue, you're going to be able to purchase right now, or not purchase, but receive for free one of the level 1 items, which is with a $60 order before shipping and tax. And so that paper could be something you could choose. If you're going to order, you don't already have a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator, and please use or consider using the host code that I have listed here. It'll also be in the description of this video. If you're ordering more, like $150 or more before shipping and tax, don't use the host code because it will keep you from getting your own rewards. So, all that to say, yada, yada, yada. So simple. I told you it was simple. I'm using a half a sheet of Bubble Bath cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5. It's scored in the middle at 4 1/4. I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to get my bone folder out. It makes a nice score, or a nice crease to that score. So like so. And then I've got a piece of that Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper. The back side is fresh freesia. The front is, they don't say it's Bubble Bath, but to me that's what it looked best with. And I kind of thought it might look kind of cool to just have a very slight border. So I've got a piece of basic white cardstock. This is at 2 3/8 by 5.5. The Designer Series paper I cut at 2 1/4 inches. I'm going to grab out my Stampin' Seal, layer it to that piece of basic white. Like I said, it's a very slight layer, but I kind of liked it offsetting, like so. And then it's going to come and layer on top of my card base. Super fast card. So I'm going to line up. You can have it centered, you could have it offset. It really is kind of up to you, but you will get a lot of pages out of here. So you can have a lot of different prints. It'd make a great gift if you put a set together. I'm also pairing it with some fresh freesia cardstock. Let me get it up in the screen here. And I need a strip. This is a 3/4 inch strip of basic white. So your scraps, this is a great use of scraps. And then I want to use some adhesive sheet. Adhesive sheet goes on the back side of the cardstock, and so I'm going to show you how I did that. I already trimmed mine down to 4 inches because that's the length of my cardstock. It comes in 12 by 6 inch pieces, and then they're in 2 inch strips onto that. So I'm going to pull back and layer onto my piece of fresh Freesia cardstock. And then I'm just going to tear it off. Actually, we might just use some scissors here, because the back side's not perforated. So let's cut that off. It really won't matter, but keep this piece for another use. And then, before I cut, I want to take and use that friend die, and there's two different options with the dies. There's one that you can put a different color or even maybe the same color to get a layer, so it kind of goes inside of here. You can kind of see how that would go. I'm only using the fine one. And then I want to use, there's a couple little hearts. You'll see them here. I want to use those, and I'm going to stamp it first because the coordinating die cuts them out together. So I don't want it to be different. So I'm going to pull out fresh Freesia and just ink them on this scrap piece of fresh Freesia cardstock. It's a little too low. See, two sides of paper. So come up a little higher. There we go. And then on my strip, I'm going to take that happy birthday and do the same kind of thing. I want a little bit of an edge, and I can decide how far I want it down. Pretty good. I'll clean those later with my Simply Chamois. Okay, pull that out of the way. And you could put your greeting on the inside if you so desired. But so what I'm going to do is get all my parts ready so I can run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine just one time. So I'm going to lay it onto here, and I've got some Post-it note tape that is low tack on the back side, just like Post-it notes are. And it works really, really well for when you're die cutting. So I'm going to pull out just a piece of that, lay it onto here. I won't need it on the friend because friend is going to be not determined on space. So I'm going to line it up, lay my hearts on the other side. I'm going to put a little bit of an overlap so you can kind of see how I'm stacking. So I've got my base plate, I've got my middle plate where it protrudes to the one side, and then I've got my top plate so that there's a little less of a gap there. And it just feeds through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine better. I'll pull it up and into here so you can kind of see. And I've got my mini machine out here. Then I can roll it, start rolling it, and it'll feed in really nicely. I'm going to come through like so. Get that out of the way. And pull these things off. So now we've got all the things we need to get a card put together. Set that out of the way. You can use the brush tip to our Stampin' Cut and Emboss, or not Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the brush tip and the foam pad that go well with the Take Your Pick tool. That's one way to get these out, which I find isn't a bad option. Roll it across and it'll help to release. And I don't want to lose my dot. That's my dot to my eye. See if I get it enough to where it will pull away. Yeah, so see, it'll release those detailed dies. Get a little closer in here, like so. So I'm going to keep that. We won't need the friend die, so I'll put it out of the way. And I will need my Take Your Pick with my, what I refer to as the pokey end. Pull this out of the way. You can also use the fine or the pointy tips of your paper snips. My words are not coming well today, so come here. So I got my hearts. We die cut earlier. Put that die over here so we don't lose it. And then to release the paper, you need something to help, and so just something to pull it up. The nice part of this then with putting the adhesive sheet on is that it is sticky all the way across, and you don't have to worry about using the glue on the back side. You can, and there are some great tips out for using glue and not the adhesive sheet. So then I'm going to lay my friend die cut kind of up on this right hand side, across however you'd like it. Seems to me that's a little crooked, so while I have it not adhered too hard onto my paper, I'm going to pull it up. Well, at least I think I am. It might be as crooked as it is. Okay, well, it's going to be on the way it is. So decide that before you place it down. Then I've got this dot, which is always a challenge when it's got adhesive sheet on the back, but I'm going to kind of hold it with a fingernail and use my take your pick tool with the pokey end again, just so I can get that sheet released from this itsy bitsy dot. Well, at least I think I am. There we go. And then what's nice when you use the take your pick tools, then it's attached to the end of the tool, and then you can lay it down and use an end to kind of press into there. And then I'm going to use some mini dimensionals for my hearts. Grab where I've got those at. I just need a couple of them, one in the center of each. Like so. Then they'll be ready to go down. And then I want to trim down my happy birthday. So I'm going to come out, I want to trim this side so it's not quite that wide. You could use your paper trimmer if you want it to be at a certain width. I'm going to eyeball. I'm going to come over to here. I have more to use for something else. And then all I'm going to do is going to tag the end. And so I'm going to come up just a slight little bit in the center, come from each corner up to where that meets the top part of where I snipped. And when I do that, it will create a tag on each end. So I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. I'm going to come in just a little bit. You can go up as deep as you want, which will make a deeper tag on the ends, or you can go narrow like I'm doing and have narrower tags, so like so. And then I'm just going to use adhesive to put my happy birthday right above friend. So just use my Stampin' Seal again. Now, sorry for that. Things happen when you throw them on the floor. I'll lay it up above here. And you never throw things on the floor, right? All right, and then to put just a little accent on this side, I'm going to put a heart up above here. And I'm going to put another larger one kind of opposite down over here. I don't want to cover up all of my cute little toadstools there. And so there you have a very fast happy birthday card. And who doesn't need birthday cards? So I'm going to flip back over. Thanks again for joining me. If you have any questions, let me know. Please feel free to comment. I'd love it if you haven't subscribed, if you would do so. And again, any questions, I'd love to hear them. Have a great day, and I'll see you again next week. Happy stamping.